Hi, I'm Ann Faison, and I'm here to talk a little bit about grief. I really like talking about grief. I always have. I've always enjoyed having conversations with people about what that's like for them. But when it kind of changed for me was when I had a baby who was stillborn, and and that was when I sort of understood that I have something to teach about grief. So that experience of having birth and death happen simultaneously was full of intensity, a lot of intense emotions, and but it was also a really profound experience. My husband and I were in love with this baby who we would never know in any kind of conventional sense, and yet her birth and death really affected us. We were deeply moved by her very, brief existence in our family. And that love that we felt was incredibly present, and it sort of stayed around us, like almost like a bubble, protecting us from this tremendous sort of wave of sadness we could feel was like just waiting outside of that bubble. And in those first few days, I remember feeling like there was this kind of delicate balance that we were holding between the love that we were feeling and all the sadness that we were feeling at the same time. And what it left me with was this intense desire to know who was this child that I would never really know, but who had this profound effect on me. I had this incredible, deep desire to understand at least what she meant to me. And there wasn't really anyone who could help me with that. I tried kind of going online and checking into groups online of people that had similar experiences. I thought about doing grief support groups. I looked at a lot of books about stillbirth and similar experiences, but really no one could help me understand who my own daughter was, and I realized that all I had to go on was my own feelings, my own emotions, my own experiences, my own just observations about what I was going through. So I started to explore that stuff through writing. I started writing a lot, and I ended up writing poetry and these little short sort of vignettes, and then I started drawing, and eventually I birthed this book. And I like to say birthed because it really, for me, this book has become kind of my daughter's rebirth, and it is how I came to understand really what she means to me. And I hope that this book can inspire other people to work with their grief in a similar way. I mean, it doesn't have to be writing or drawing, of course, it could be anything, but to really explore grief and to get in there and start to understand, what it is the grief is awakening within us. That, to me, is where the healing really begins.